Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another Teacher Joseph podcast. Well, another thing that I did over the weekend is I was watching some episodes of Soul Train. Soul Train was an American soul music TV program which ran from 1971 all the way up until 2008. It was presented by Don Cornelius, who had one of those smooth black voices, and he used to introduce it every week by saying, "Soul Train, the hippest journey in America." It's very nice. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube or other streaming platforms. The early episodes, I think, were best. And I was watching Barry White and Love Unlimited. I don't know if you remember Love Unlimited. I think one of the women, because it's basically three women who sing together, one of them, I think, was married to Barry White, if I remember correctly. Is that, was it Linda James or her cousin? I remember two of them were called by the surname James. Glodianne. Yeah, Glodianne James was married to Barry White. And they had a cousin, Linda James. She was in Love Unlimited as well. And the third lady who was another cousin. Actually, I think it was two sisters and a cousin. Yeah, there was Glodianne James, Linda James, and Diane Taylor. That was it. Yes. So two sisters, Glodianne James, Linda James, and their cousin Diane Taylor. Actually, she died in the 80s, very young, as I recall. I think she died of cancer. Very sad. So Glodianne was married to Barry White, and Love Unlimited was his backing group. But they also had their own hits, and it's well worth looking for them in YouTube if you find them. You'll definitely find the old episodes of Soul Train. The opening credits, the opening part of the program is worth it. I mean, just to watch that is so dated, so 70s. Even if you only watch Soul Train for a moment on YouTube, watch the opening credits. Yeah, they have this black train, it's a cartoon train, winding its way through the skyscrapers of America, while at the same time advertising beauty products like Afro Queen for people of ethnic origin. Beautiful. It's a really nice program. Soul Train, the hippest journey in America. Actually, Don Cornelius, he only died recently as well. As far as I remember, he had either Alzheimer's or dementia, and he tragically died at one point, I think in 2012 or around that time, if I'm remembering correctly. Around 10 years ago, anyway, he died. But what's strange about Soul Train is it ran from 1971 all the way up until 2008. And after Don Cornelius stopped presenting it, it was presented by two other actors that you might be very surprised about. Okay, so the first one is Dorian, I think it's Dorian Gray, his name. No, it's not Dorian Gray. That's the Oscar Wilde book, isn't it? The picture of Dorian Gray. It was Dorian Gregory. Dorian Gregory. And you'll know him because he was in Charmed. Do you remember that TV series in the 1990s with those three women who thought they were witches? With Shannon Doherty, Alicia Milano, and I can't remember the other one's name. I'm not doing so well with names today, am I? Dorian Gregory was the detective in that TV series. So yeah, he presented Soul Train for a while, and so did Shemar Moore. Now, this is an interesting one because Shemar Moore is that police detective from Criminal Minds. He also was in NCIS, I think. Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, two very well-known actors, Shemar Moore, Dorian Gregory. They must have been very young when they were presenting Soul Train. I mean, Shemar Moore was very young when he was in Criminal Minds, which was about 10 years ago now, I think. And Dorian Gregory as well. Yes. There was one other host. Um, Maestro Clark was another one that used to present Soul Train. Maestro Clark's also been in loads of things in the English speaking world, loads of movies and TV. None that I can remember off the top of my head. That just means on the hoof, off the top of my head is what we say when we're trying to recall something at the moment without planning, So it means that I could be wrong, and it's the same with on the hoof. If you do something on the hoof, it means while you're walking, or while you're doing something else on the hoof without planning. Okay, so you can use that in many different ways. For example, I'm recording this podcast on the hoof. I didn't do any pre-planning for it. I just lifted up my microphone on my phone and started recording. So it's on the hoof, and I'm remembering these facts about Soul Train off the top of my head. Yes. So, do watch Soul Train. If you love 70s music and black soul, R&B or hip hop, yeah, Soul Train, the hippest show in America. Actually, it was the hippest journey in America, he used to say, not the hippest show. But those opening credits, oh yeah, you need to see it. Really, Soul Train. And you also see the audience dancing, and they're, of course, dressed in 70s fashions, doing dances which are, well, long lost in history now. So, yeah, it's a pity they don't make shows with live entertainment now, isn't it? We used to have those in the UK. I can remember Wednesday night at the London Palladium. It was always live. Yeah, and they had comedians and actors there. And of course, in the Spanish speaking world, in Mexico, they had Siempre en Domingo, always on a Sunday. And every week they had the best known acts from all over the Spanish world singing. It was a lovely program. So if you like black music, you have to watch Soul Train. Even the opening credits alone, well worth it. So yeah, Soul Train. So yes, that's long gone. I think it's probably out on DVD now as well. But I remember Barry White, Love Unlimited. The Isley Brothers also were very famous on Soul Train. And for many of these acts, it's how they became famous by being on Soul Train. I think it's quite tragic that in those days, and even now in some parts of the world, there are very specific programs for example, black people and for white people. Why can't we all just be the same? That would be nice, wouldn't it? But anyway, it's a wonderful celebration of black TV of the 70s, of black music. So if you like women who sing, Love Unlimited is for you. I think she divorced Barry White, didn't she? They were long divorced before he died. He died in 2003. And as far as I know, Gloria James is still alive. She was born 46, 1946. Yes, she's from my parents' generation. So, very interesting. Very interesting. He had a family as well, didn't he? Wasn't it four children he had? Barry White. They sometimes pop up on TV talking about their parents, but I haven't seen Glodianne White for years. Well, I think she's Glodianne James. They separated, but I don't think they officially divorced. I don't think so. I'll have to check on that. Well, that's it from me. So enjoy your day. Bye.